There'll be 2 spikes.
Should I have it like? How do you,
I did mine up and down because
up and down. I just never know how to do it on the collar if it's
or the
dangling.
shirt itself.
Yeah, or you pinch it like your nipple.
I think when you pinch it, it like
Looks weird.
It looks weird. Yeah.
Oh, now it's tickling my Adam's out. I'll do it there. Let's see how that works.
All right, great.
Oh, all right. So it took a lot for us to get here.
Maybe we should put it on our shirt.
Maybe we should put it down a little.
Yeah. Let's see what happens.
There we go. It took a lot for us to get here, but we did it.
What do you mean? Our whole lives or just today?
Well, that too. Yeah. Let me just double check to make sure.
OK7 podcast. OK7 podcast.
Yep, we got it all going. You had to work through. It's funny because it reminds me of a lot of clients and a lot of people I talk to because you really had to work through the fact that it's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be good. You were like asking a lot of questions, you know?
Yeah, but once I just surrendered to the flow, I feel like it was much easier and more productive.
Yeah, and we're here, Asbury Park, where we've always belonged. The first OK7 podcast. This isn't going to be about, there's going to be some microphones. There's going to be some marketing stuff, and then lifestyle stuff, and just talking about us. Because honestly, talking about marketing is boring as shit. Do you agree?
Yeah, I mean, unless that's something you're like two marketing people like geeking out about some technique or something, but
yeah, but the whole point of marketing is to like get people interested.
Yeah,
and
that's changed like from over the past.
Well, yeah, the
decades, and then just the past few years, everything's moving.
I just asked ChatGPT. I said, "What do you see OK7 doing in 5 to 10 years? How do you see technology changing, and what do you think marketing, social media will all be in 5 to 10 years, and how will that affect OK7, and will I have a job?"
What did it say?
I didn't read it yet.
Oh shit! You should read it live.
Tune in next time.
We'll give an update.
Yeah. But yeah, me and Jim have been doing it. We've been getting it all together. We've been exercising, which is great. I think it really helps, and I don't want to. I really think for clients to be full rounded, or to know personally, how if we're on point, not on point, stuff like that.
Well, yeah. Do you want the people that you're working with, like at the end of the day, they're going home slamming beers, like passing out, like not like their brain's in a fog? I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Or do you want someone that's like, pumped, they're like energized, eating right,
I think I just want
hydrated.
Yeah, I mean, I want to work with people that are like-minded. It doesn't mean that they have to have the same religious beliefs or dietary beliefs or lifestyle beliefs. It's just got to be more coming from a place of they run a business, they're happy with what they do, and they're easy to work with, in the sense that you could communicate. They're not going to have a huge ego about stuff.
I feel that.
Yeah. Do you have anything to interject?
No, not really. Not that specific.
So this is the first episode. We recorded the theme song just now.
That's what I'm talking about. That was boom, one cut. We have chorus, verses, the beat.
Yeah.
My boy right here.
I can make your theme song too, guys. Don't forget it. I think what I'd like to do for that is I'd like to have the radio edit theme song, then the extended cut, and then the unedited version.
Words.
I don't think true fans. Yeah, exactly.
We got fans,
and I think that's like.
OK7 podcast is the theme song for the OK7 podcast.
I think that's part of it too. Is like the OK7 mindset or lifestyle to the business. It's got to evolve, and it's got to be exemplary to the clients, to where it's like you're gonna have your content. It doesn't really have to be polished, and you could have the BTS behind the scenes. You can have the original content, the content that you were attending, and then you could have multiple pieces of content from that.
Right. Yeah, people love the story and the inner workings of what's going on with things they're interested in.
Yeah, and I really, thanks, because I didn't have time to do this or the confidence or like that extra energy to like get stuff going. And within the last week or two, we have all like the design, the packages, the services lined up, the website's being redeveloped. I'm deploying like all of the new pages, and it's just like ongoing.
I brought on a new client, which is exciting and fun.
Yeah. Were we supposed to call her today?
No. Like
Perfect.
we don't, because today is the day that she works all day, like doing her production stuff.
Okay.
She hires someone to work with, so
Good.
it would take her away from that. But yeah, just Monday's fine.
And it's so funny that like you get into these. I hear it all the time. It's like we were talking to our mom the other day, who's a real estate agent, who, she's the quintessential client you kind of don't want because.
And this is why.
Yeah.
We're gonna drop in the clip of the video, like 10 seconds of what I started filming her. Well, I won't even say.
Never gonna believe this. No, don't even start.
Number one problem with marketing.
You can't just.
Yeah, that's what it is. Go. Here, I'll show you how it's done.
What?
Look at me.
Tip of the week, of the day. When you're ready to do it, do it.
But like, I start telling her, I'm like, you just got to go. And it's always, people want to prepare, and they want to prepare to prepare and prepare to prepare to prepare. But like, you don't really need to know to do that if you know what you're doing. If you know how to set up cameras, you set them up. If you know how to record, you record.
And if you don't, call us.
Yeah, exactly. But the stuff that you do know, your services for your business, you should just be able to like man on the street that shit, and people like point a camera at you and you can talk about it,
Yeah, well, our clients are like that so far.
So far, so good. And I mean, going back to that whole idea of like, I think it's different when you're running a business, say like a landscape supply store. We can go there and we're going to talk about your services. But when it comes to what I want to do with my company, I don't know. I just can't imagine myself like having a podcast where you talk about like Facebook pixels and like H1 tags and like how to cut.
I mean, if it's relevant, like right or timely.
Sure, but I just don't think I don't know how sustainable that is, and I don't know. That's not.
No, we're here to entertain.
Well, that's not the market either. Like, I don't want a client that wants to, like, I want them to know that I know what I'm doing through what I make, and the fact that people are engaging with it. But I don't understand why, as a marketing company, your clients would want to. They would want to see the fact that you made it, but that doesn't mean they're actually going to watch it.
They might.
You think so?
Definitely.
So I should be making those videos too?
I mean, you could to help them, like on the stuff that on the side that things they have to do, or something like a quick edit, or if there's a tool like here's how to use Canva real quick, like so you could do something yourself. You don't need to call me. Like there's some hands-on things like you could do in that regard, I would say, or just techniques, like to understand the why you do what you do. Oh, that's why they wanted us to do this and this.
And I guess that goes back to, you inform and entertain. So there's stuff like this where we're making the content, but then there could also be the educational stuff as well.
Yeah.
And it's evolved so much because of, obviously AI and ChatGPT, which really, like, it's great. All that stuff is great as a tool, but it really bothers me to see the ads that these marketing companies are using to make it seem, and it is easy. I mean, I don't know. I'm stuck in this, like, gray area of, like, yes, it's easy to do, but it's also easy to make garbage,
Yeah, well, it's like, it's a tool just like anything else. So whatever you're using it for, it needs to fit the use.
Yeah.
And don't abuse.
Exactly. And we've been exercising, which, like, I think you got to bring in, like, the lifestyle, what you're doing.
Definitely.
Oh, it was so great. And Jimmy came in and he was like, we're gonna go, we're gonna exercise.
This guy had a gym membership and it was just like he wasn't going, and it was like,
I was spending money on nothing.
Yeah, he was spending the money and not getting the results. And that's something we see a lot. Like, people will try to do things themselves in marketing or Facebook, and they'll spend the money and not see the results. It's because there's a systematic way to go about doing things, and you don't want to waste your money.
There's always that juxtaposition between having a systematic approach to getting results, but then there's also that part that you need somebody to come in or have that catalyst, have Jimmy come into your house and be like, I'm going to drive here and we're going to go to the gym, we're just going to start. I just see my like distended like wheat belly in the shots, and I'm just like, I can't.
It's a wake-up call. Like I had in mine, someone took an unflattering picture of me after I swam like a quarter mile, it felt like, and climbed up on top of this rock to jump off, and I'm like all hunched over, my belly was saying.
But you
that
can't.
was my wake-up call.
But you also can't, like, I can't let it prohibit, and I don't think it should let clients prohibit themselves from doing this stuff, because I think that's a lot of the time. I mean, not that I want to talk about our mom too much, but like she's always talking about like prepping or not, putting on this like I don't want to say airs, but like we're having to get ready. This idea of getting ready. I wanted her to do a real estate report where she just gets on and talks about what's for sale, what's sold, and there was so many like roadblocks, or you get this resistance from people where they don't want to do stuff, and it's natural. It's a natural phenomenon,
Yeah, no, it is. I mean, I suffer from that. Like that's why it's taken me 20 years to start this podcast.
Yeah, but we got the equipment. We're using
yeah,
what
like
we
there's
got.
no more excuses, guys. You could go on Amazon, and you should if you have a business and you're gonna make videos. First of all, you should make videos,
Yeah.
and if you're gonna make videos, you need to get lapel mics. This was $20.
Yeah.
And they hook up to your phone.
And sometimes
iPhone.
they don't work, and you just use the footage anyway. Because that's the thing too, is what I want people to understand is like no one. I always use Gary Vaynerchuk as the example, because for his podcast, you could go back and watch the first episode, and there's still not that many views on it.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first episode of Wine Library TV. I am Gary Vaynerchuk, Director of Operations here at Wine Library at winelibrary.com, and I am very proud to launch what we think is the first video wine blog.
Not like it.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but he probably didn't have any views when he first did it, and it just, as you do it, it'll go up, because not only will you be getting better at it, you'll be more comfortable. People start to watch it more, but
they'll go back and
but it'll grow exponentially. If you don't do it, it'll never grow.
Right.
But as soon as you start, you're going to be disappointed because not a lot of people are watching it. But you got to start. You just have to start doing it. And I mean, that's
you don't know. Maybe you'll get lucky. Like I know, I have a friend that started a nameless or faceless Instagram channel of just historic. It was Memphis historic. Memphis history, and they have over 1 million followers and like 10,000 like views a day and like comments and all.
What made them start doing it? They just love history?
No, they probably saw one of those YouTube ads, and that's where they live out there, and they just seen it. I mean, like you could really do anything.
We should do that. Asbury Park history.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah. Bro.
Just talk to him and see what he did.
I have a call set up with his friend actually after this. So. Captain Jack.
Oh, perfect. Shout out Captain Jack.
Yeah.
And that's another part of it too, is like, I love talking to other marketers. I love bigging them up. And if you're doing a good job, I'm all about it, because there's plenty of fish in the sea, bro. You know what I mean?
For sure.
So the whole catalyst too, to just getting started, it's leading up to this culmination of, getting the services for OK7. And this goes for anybody that has a business. Like, having your services listed is very important, because not only do people need to know what you do, it also helps for the content. So it's this recursive thing that we're doing right now. It's like a recursive, it's kind of hard.
Feedback.
It's like this feedback loop of like, we're doing this now, it's going to lead to more stuff. We're going to have more stuff. And then eventually, once the service pages are all set up, that's going to solidify the content and the schedule more. Right now, we're just shooting those tip of the week videos, but eventually we'll do, what we were talking about, the education. We'll do this stuff. We can clip this stuff. And then, that'll lead into the blogs.
Even if we have a tasty tidbit, like a tasty nuggets. Remember you used to do that?
That was good. I'm good at naming stuff.
Yeah, you are. That's the creativity.
Yeah.
That's our talents.
Yeah. Rex Production Studios. I hope to get in there soon to start. There's a lot of ideas.
Yeah, we should go there to shoot the video for this podcast theme song that we just recorded.
Perfect.
Keep it pushing.
Yeah, the smoke machine.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I love that place. They have the lights.
Yeah, no, I see
Like,
them
that's
on
fun.
Instagram.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's killer, and they're just getting bigger and bigger. And they've met some pretty interesting people, some famous people,
Nice.
and
I would love to have a place like a
a giant warehouse where
Yeah.
you just set stuff up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
taper involved.
I
Dude.
go in there sometimes, and they just have sets built for people, or
Yes,
they bought
little
these
stage designs.
They bought these LED, these giant. I wonder if they still have it. They're huge. They were used in a Maroon 5 like tour.
No
And
way.
Yeah, they have these giant, and it's these giant like backgrounds like cloth, but they're all. It's like every few inches is an LED light, and then you can control it. So
hell yeah.
it's wild, and they just have it on a giant wall.
Yeah, shout out Maroon 5.
Yeah, shout out Adam Levine.
Mhm.
Right on.
Right on.
So this is the first preliminary shoot. We just had to get it done, break the ice. We're gonna post this on Spotify because it's super easy.
Mhm.
Maybe we'll post it to SoundCloud so I can get rid of that other OK7
Yes,
guy.
bury that.
Well,
there's a tasty tidbit right there. Tell them about how you looked and the SEO and
I looked.
Tell them. Go.
You should, as a business, search yourself.
Do that.
OK7 is such a tiny name. It could mean a lot of things. OK.
Branding.
Yeah.
Branding. What do you think? Okay. It makes you feel good because guess what? Everything's going to be okay.
Well, not only that,
7.
OK is one of the most universal, globally known symbols and words in every language. People know OK. So that's something to consider. And then 7 relates to these 7 pillars of ubiquitous content, which you could read about on the website. I think I have it there. I might have an ebook that you could sign up for. But anyway, I searched the name, and there's some kind of piece to some kind of part to some kind of machine that's related to that. Then there's this DJ rapper guy that had it on his SoundCloud
from years ago.
Yeah, from years. So I gotta bury that. How do you bury it? You just post more content. People are always not always, but it's a huge red flag. If somebody comes to me as a client or wants to be a client, and they're like, "How do I bury stuff, the bad stuff?" And I'm just like, "Well, you can't get rid of it. You do have to bury it. You just have to make more stuff on top of it, better stuff." But if you have a criminal record, it's super hard to get that off of the search engines.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know from personal experience?
I had a former boss that.
Oh yeah.
He was involved in some. He was. His company got in federally indicted crimes. He got in a lot of trouble.
Wow.
That's one of the reasons I kind of quit the job, is because I wasn't happy there. And then I looked into what he did, and I was like, "Ooh, this is gross."
Yeah, it's the vibe wasn't right.
And anyway, so you can't. All you could do is fix it. I have a client that has He had a bad review on Yelp. Sucks. It just sucks. But he had a bad review or a couple bad reviews on Yelp.
It from the consumer side.
Why? What do you use it for? Restaurants?
Food. If I'm in, listen, here's another tasty tidbit. If you're in a place you don't know, don't be Googling or anything. You're going to get scammed. Go on Yelp. It'll direct you. And just read a few different reviews. If you're anywhere near being a foodie, you'll be directed right to the spot. They stand out. You can't hide. If you're inauthentic and you have bad whatever, food in this case, you're done for in the realm of the authenticity of the current.
Well, and that's what his problem was. He got scared because somebody had a bad experience. They wrote a bad review, and then he tried to shutter the Yelp business page. So now when people Google his business, it just says closed, which is I don't know what's worse, having a bad review or having your business say permanently closed.
That, because you could take the bad review and they allow you as the business owner to respond to it, and that's your chance to connect with a person that had a bad experience and make amends, or at least let them feel like that you do care about what happened to them. You're not just there making money or whatever.
Yeah, because then his response, and this is a natural response, is they say, "Oh, if I respond to that, then that'll just egg them on to do more stuff," and it's a real fear-based reaction to things, and I don't think that's good. But at the same time, at that point, I don't want to tell him what. Maybe I'm going from a fear-based place, because then I don't want to tell him what to do, because then then it's on me. But
just tell them and give examples. I mean, I see that a lot on Yelp because I use it. people are like, this place sucks. And I'm like looking, and then I see like, oh, this person's a complainer, because then the person comes on and they're like, yeah, like blah 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 blah. Or they're like, we're really sorry, like please come back. Like I've seen that, come back. We'll give you a meal on us. I mean, like,
I see that too. Or you see the reviewer, whoever reviewed it, you could click on, like this is on Google reviews.
Picture.
Well, on Google reviews, you can click on the person, you can see everything they've reviewed, and then you can see if they're just
those
haters.
1-star,
Yeah.
like those 1-star boys.
rebels.
Yeah, 1-star people.
So I mean, in any case, what he really should do, and what I tell people, is to promote. Do like a review campaign. I forget what I call it, but like you do a good job with somebody, and then you immediately reach out to get a review. As soon as they're happy, ask them for a review and send them the link. Send them the Google review link or the Yelp link, or you just tell them to, hey, just respond to this with a testimonial I could use. Right. And that's do as I say, not as I do, because right now I'm reaching out to these clients, and it's like I'm helping them with their business, but it's not like fresh off of them being so excited.
Do it while it's fresh.
Yeah. So like I'm waiting for these reviews from people, and here I am stuck in, mired in the same.
Well, I know for a fact that the client I'm brought on is going to give us a shining review, because they're a raving fan of what we're doing.
That's great.
They had immediate improvement before they were even working with us. I gave them just a few suggestions to help them, and they were like, whoa.
And sometimes that's all it takes. I really come around from, I've had clients like, for example, Alana Carvalho Therapy, who's a great person, awesome individual. She's doing so great on her social media, and she's running her business so well. And I was helping her with her site, but she was very, she's super type A. She's super on top of things and super motivated. And I was trying to tell her to do stuff, and she wanted to do it her own way. And, eventually she just set up her own. I had a WordPress site for her. She wanted a Squarespace site. But ultimately I was like, yeah, this is, you're doing great. You don't need me to help you do anything. Like, you have a different way of doing stuff. Go for it. And like, that's kind of part of it too, is that having that mentality to where you're not trying to like fear-based. I guess it's all fear-based. You're trying to like hold on to things or manipulate situations so that, you have control over it, or you think you know better. Some people want to do all the work. I think it relates to what we were talking about before as far as education. I guess it's good, through social media, you educate people, you engage with people, you get the likes. You might not get the business from that individual, but at least you're teaching them something,
Yeah,
so
and maybe they'll come back later or whatever.
Or recommend you to some. Yeah. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
So we got a lot going on. We got a lot of ideas. We got the theme song coming out. We're gonna post this stuff.
We're gonna do a music video for the theme song.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be, you guys are gonna be blown away, because we're taking it to a whole nother level.
And side note, it's raining outside right now, and I just told my wife, I just aerated, overseeded my lawn. Oh, yeah. And I said, she's like, we got to water this lawn. I'm like, it's rained a few times. And she's like, it hasn't rained that much. Now it's raining again. Anyway, I probably, she was right.
We'll cut that out.
No, it's fine. Or do whatever. I don't care. Jimmy's editing this.
Yes.
So
we're putting little cuts, Instagram, I'll figure out overlays, or is that too much?
As long as it gets done by
when do we release? Like, what's the production schedule on this? We record this Fridays.
I don't know.
When does it roll out?
Should it be
the following week?
Yeah, should it be weekly?
Every other week? Yeah, I think weekly. I don't think that's too much.
No, I mean,
I'm good at editing. So
just chop it up.
If anyone needs editing done,
we'll do all we sit down, work with you, do all this stuff.
Creativity is
the key. That's the only thing.
It's the sauce. It's the sauce. It's the flavor.
Yeah, the taste. That's the only thing left, because AI can do a lot of the work. It can't do the. It can sort of. Well, no, you still
not
have
that song that we just made. Off the top of our heads. Yeah. Andrew, the directive was, we're making the song, because we usually make a song per day. We're making the song about this is the theme song for the podcast, because we're about to record it, and then we just did it. And he's so fast with the production; it was done.
And that's the thing too. Like what I was kind of thinking about with AI is it could definitely help you, but there is going to be a point where if you want to make a video, it's not like you could just ring up the AI and say, make me a video. You got to have the tripods, have the phones. Okay, you have the phone, great. You record it, then you got to edit it. How are you going to edit it? So how much work do you want to do that's not focused on actually doing your business versus, doing all the stuff. Some people like Alana, she gets her hands dirty. She does it. She's obviously hired other people. Shout out to Rita. She works with Rita Between the Posts, I believe is Rita. She
Oh, cool!
worked,
I
yeah.
like that name.
Yeah, she she works with us as well. But like there's a certain point where you could do so much of it, but if you're actually successful at your business, you're not going to have time to do that stuff, even to talk to the AI.
Yeah, like people underestimate what it really takes to keep something like that going, like a social media account, and how important it is. Like, there's no more yellow pages, like, at all. Like, people don't, it's like if you want to be in front of people, you have to be where they are, and their eyeballs are on these social media pages.
And the target is always moving, which is insane.
And the production is constantly increasing. If you don't have proper audio at this point, you're rinsed. Like, people will go right off.
Audio is, I think, more important than the video.
Yes.
If you have clear audio, I think it makes a huge difference. It's
Absolutely.
turned me off. I've turned into podcasts.
You just turn off.
Yeah. Like, I've had a podcast where like something got messed up and they used it anyway.
Yep.
And I can't listen to it. If something like obviously it looks better if it's all crispy, like that mulch video from Risers. If you watch it, it's in 4K. Instagram does video in 4K now, and if you watch it on a good screen, it looks crispy. The mulch looks real good.
People notice the difference, even if you're not consciously noticing it. You do notice it, and you prefer it over the other content that's just of a lower quality, which shouldn't stop you from producing content again.
Yeah, because it's that feedback loop, that recursive loop of getting better. You're not going to improve unless you put it out there, and you're not going to feel more comfortable unless you put it out there. So, even though like I'm so happy that we're exercising now, I have this like, you see me in the videos and it's just sticking out like a pregnant lady.
We're gonna do a video of a bunch of cuts of all the videos together after he gets his beach body, and we'll see it shrink down.
Yeah, and then.
Look out.
Yeah, look out, people, because my prices will be going up, because I'll be able to dance with my pecs.
Yeah, that'll get views.
Yeah, that's views. That's entertainment.
Yeah.
Might not be educational, but it's definitely entertaining. So I guess that's it.
That's it, man. We're done.
More to come. Totally. All right, guys.
Local.
Well, that's what we got. Totally local. Speaking of which, we'll get that popping off in a second. I mean, I think this will be a good catalyst for that as well, because we're testing the audio, we're testing the editing, and we're just going to be doing it. That stuff is going to be sick on location, where we could mic a guest, because the problems with Totally Local before, I was inspired by what Jimmy's done in the past with live streaming, but it's in the context of the podcast, it was unnecessary. When you were doing it, it made total sense.
Right.
But when I was doing it, I wasn't getting enough views. It does capture people's attention to have it streaming, but it's so difficult to do.
Right.
Because you got to time everything.
Edit. Yeah.
Get the guest there on time. Okay, now we're shooting. People are expecting at 2 p.m. to have it. All this stuff. So we're not doing that anymore. Maybe on special occasions.
Right.
There's hours
if there's
of
an
footage.
event.
Yeah. Hours of footage eventually.
This is the song, OK7 Podcast is the theme song. OK7 Podcast is the theme song for the podcast. OK7 theme song podcast is the podcast for the theme song. OK7 Podcast is the theme song to the OK7 Podcast is the theme song for the OK7 Podcast. Podcast for OK7 is the theme song for OK7 Podcast. This the podcast for the theme song OK7